Pleasure.
Generic for people who couldn't be here today.
Yeah, I know.
We must be getting down to the end when you get to the generic for people who couldn't be here today. I'm not putting any, no, not knocking you. I'm just saying.
Mike, anytime you're ready.
All right.
Wake up, Mike.
Every set is different. This one looked particularly tough. I guess maybe the weather, the setting. It was a rail yard. It's not the French Riviera. Can you talk about the single toughest day you had in the set and maybe the best day you had, the most enjoyable set?
You know, one thing that was interesting, I didn't realize was happening. Maybe because as the seasons were changing and we were in some of these yards where there's not a tree or anything. When I got back to LA, first thing I was like, oh, green, trees, palm, you know, life. Toughest, you know, I don't know. Frightening, running on top of the train.
Yeah.
But I don't know about toughest, I don't know.
Stuff like the weather was bad. It was just a grueling day.
You know, I'm used to that. That's what comes with the territory, you know.
Can you sing a lot of, just one of the most enjoyable, just a day that just went so great, you just had such a great time despite what else was going on?
Those usually had to do with seeing the folks from the towns that we were in, you know, listening to small stories. I thought I knew why corn tasted so sweet. We were in Brewster, Ohio, in the Amish country, and our caterer was getting a lot of fresh produce, tomatoes and peaches and corns that we were serving at lunch. And I got to meet the farmer who grew the corn, rough hand old guy. I'm like, so don't they like add something to the soil to make the corn sweet? He's like, no, well actually it's manure. I was like, what? But it was an interesting lesson. He says how you have to be kind to the land. Like you might take 9 acres and grow the corn one year, and then you harvest the corn, and what you don't sell, you feed to the cows, who then make the manure that you put on that land. He said you let the land rest a year, and let the, I know this got nothing to do with the movie, but I dug it, and so it was like how they just used nature, what was natural, and he said, and it would make the soil richer and make the corn sweeter, and you know. Sometimes life's simple pleasures are the best.
Absolutely. Talk about pleasures. You've worked with Tony Scott, obviously, this 5th time, right?
Yes.
Can you single out one thing about Tony that keeps you coming back for more?
His enthusiasm, his desire to work as hard as he can, his lack of ego. That's not one thing, but he's got a lot of guys who've worked with, and women who've worked with him over and over and over. He's just one of those sweet, strong, unafraid, powerful, brilliant filmmakers that you'll follow him into battle. He's a leader.
Does he still surprise you? I mean, when you see the finished movie and
this really surprised me more than others. I guess because it's so many different parts. Chris and I were doing our stuff. While all the shots of the monster train we never really got to see, or the scenes in the town that the people that it was affected that we never got to see, and seeing him put all those things together and build that tension, and it was exciting to watch. I was like, whoa, okay, we got one.
Terrific, you do. Thanks, Denzel. Appreciate it.
All right, man.